Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well today. I'll be there. I'll be here in a few minutes. I was actually hoping to show this trade, but you know, it's set up real quick, so I got in and worried about getting the live stream going after the fact, and I just got out of the trade. So the trade was essentially, let's see if we can select this. There to there. That's it. With a stop right underneath this candle. So what is that? Let's take a quick look here. Yeah, 1.5 hours. About, right? Maybe a little above 1.5 hours. So on my way here to a massive micro day, maybe. Let's see. All right. I'll be back. I'm gonna take a. I know I just got on, but I haven't even set up my treadmill yet, and I'm gonna do some walking here. So I will set that up and be on in a minute or two. What's up, man? You're eating. You're about ready to eat. Oh my gosh, sounds wonderful. Oh, I'm tempted by that food. Let me tell you. Benjamin, how would you like to share with me? Are you giving me a frown? Remember what I said about sharing last night? Who shared their mango last night? No. I did, homeboy. I was the sharing, caring father. And I'm hoping that you can return the favor to me. You'll be a sharing, caring son. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Dude. Oh. Feeling the love, man. Ciao. Good morning, Gusa and Venus. All right. On and cracking now. Let's get my walk on here. Jeez. All right. So what you have in front of you, make sure I can even say the right thing. You've got a footprint on top, the time and sales on the right side, which is aggregated by same price and type. Hold on, let me jack this treadmill speed up here. Bottom left, you have HUD, heads up display, followed by essentially heat map, little bid volume ask volume ratio indicator at the bottom, little heat map in there, got some T plus overlays, large volume trade indicator, etc. Volume profile with, net deltas at tick overlaid with the volume profile on the right side here. And then over here, we have our TPO chart. So today we've only got the E-mini going. No NASDAQ, just the E-mini. We're on the E-mini data, and we're executing on MES. That's what this is up here. So, good morning, Raymond. So, that's what's going on. right? And all the charts are like that. So if I enter an order, you guys will instantly see on the various charts where, excuse me, you can instantly see on the various charts where that order is coming in, right? So like here, right? You can see it on hopefully all the charts, 1, 2, 3, except for the HUD, which doesn't show order executions. Um, so there you go. Let's see. Why the heck? Oh, bracket off. Man, we had a good morning, Rainer. Thanks, Raymond. Yeah, it's as you could see, we're dealing with the E-mini charts here, right? Green to the upside, green volume profile, green volume profile. Oh, you don't actually see any. Oh, see, there you go. Green in the volumes down here, right? The right side volume profile highlighted green. The TPO green. Um, and so the Nasdaq charts are actually all red. So you know what I just noticed? Oh, let's do it. Hold on. Graphics settings, global. I'm not using line on close anywhere else, so I can use the global settings. Line on close. Let's do this. Bing, bing, bing. All right. Now we're talking. Now the HUD is green line on close. Good evening, Alfred and Rainer. Let's see. Target's telling me you need to go pick up your wife's order. Nice little resistance up here. So you can see, I figured a lot of times you guys don't really see where some of my support and resistance come in. So a lot of them come in from the higher time frame charts, and I'm like, well, which charts do I use a lot of that you guys never see? So I got more up here, obviously. I've got weeklies, I've got dailies, I've got 30-minute chart, I've got even 5-minute chart, but you guys don't see any of that. You're just seeing some lower time frame plus the TPO today. So I figured, let's get the TPO chart in there, and you guys can see why I have resistance up here on the TPO chart. So this TPO chart, so the RTH here is not highlighted, and then the current session not highlighted, right? So black background. Oh, let's make sure we don't have junk popping up. Okay, cool. Oh, I had news coming up. Comes up on one of these screens, and it looked like it was in OBS, but it's actually coming in over the top of OBS, so you guys aren't seeing all my news pop up here. You're like, but that would be cool. No, it wouldn't. It would just cover the screens. It's not good. I don't know what I was talking about. Something about. Oh yeah, so the TPO chart background, black, ETH, kind of a grayish background. I break my ETH up, extended trading hours, Globex, into the hour after the cash close. I call it USA2. Then I from there on, I call it Asia. Here, we can move this. Let's see. And now we can kind of see it. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay. So from there on, I call it Asia, even though it's not Asia. Asia starts somewhere over here, right? And it's a TPO chart, so you're not going to see the time in the same way, right? But Asia and then Europe, it's an important time. A lot of looks like fun activity in Europe. We had some iceberging going on, some battles above the 4120 area, and now we're headed back up. We just broke through T+2 here, You can see it on the TPO, and it's here as well. And that T plus 2, if you look up on the heads up display here, that T plus 2 is EOM, end of month. And so you can see that the relative volume meter is pegged out on the T plus. It's all the way to the white, which means it's white hot, high volume. So what should that tell you, right? 115,000 contracts transacted in the last 30 seconds of the regular trading hours, which is when settlement is calculated for the equity indexes. So that's SVol, settlement volume, right? What would you expect that to act like? Gravity. You go below it, snap back to it. You go above it, snap back to it. Blah, blah, blah. Why? Because a whole lot of volume transacted there, both long, short, people with opinions about this market. And so, there's likely to be 1, players defending it. 2, as players are in profit away from it, taking profit, driving price back to it, plus players defending it, right? And then as people are losing money, playing the wrong side and driving price back to it. So volume acts like a gravity well no matter what. And when it's that big, right, it's essentially this yellow line, right? It's on these charts, and it's yellow here, T plus 2. It acts like we have a poor high up here. Oh no, don't you better go long and target the break of the poor high immediately. I don't know, maybe not. Is this what market profilers do these days? You see a poor high print, you're like, immediately, I gotta go long to take it out. There's stops above. What's your guys' opinion? Long weekend, Rainer. Cool. Italy tomorrow. Enjoy, my friend. Hope it's a great trip. Rocco Tondrina. San Tantra. Hi. So, one thing that's really, I think, very important. You see a big iceberg, a really big one. Don't assume that that player is trying to get compensated immediately, right? You see 3,000 lots. Most of the time, they're not looking for immediate compensation. That's just a rule of thumb. Okay? Doesn't mean that they're not trying to get compensated immediately. Yeah, you see that in Globex, right? Especially, go back, look at the tape. If it's a quantity 1 reveal, quantity 1, so they're in no hurry to get filled. Okay? No hurry whatsoever. Iceberg quantity 1 reveal, such as happened last night. Don't make too many assumptions about that. Now, if you get, iceberg quantity 50 reveal, in other words, it's iceberg for 1,000, and you get the reveal on the iceberg being 50. So every single time that 50 fills, boom, new 50 contracts is revealed, and it goes FIFO, first in, first out, so it goes to the back of the line. Then that's aggression that they really want to get filled because they want to be first in line. But if it's a quantity 1 reveal, in RTH or Globex, they're in no rush. Okay, so just an FYI, something to think about. A little bit of game theory. Anyway, we've extended past these singles, right, from RTH. A little resistive area there. Notice Where we got a big sweeping sell here on the footprint was right into that red zone. Now, what does that red zone represent? Just a volume node from a prior RTH where we sold off in the morning, right? So right here, right? Big volume and then pretty heavy volume all underneath. And then once we hit into this area, we got a big market sweep. Somewhere in this area, they swept it down, which is why you got all these zero prints, which are highlighted, sort of with this bright green on the left side that represents deltas, right? It's 100% delta, meaning it's swept down, so it's all bid volume, or it's volume, or it's an aggressor hitting the bid, so it's bid volume, and it's 100% of the volume transacting at that level. So the bid volume of the total volume is like 95% or greater is how I have it set up. So in this case, it was a big sweep from here all the way down. All that tells us about this area is that there's trapped traders still, who, as we get up, and if we pull back, they're desperate to get out of some of their position. Maybe. You never know. Could be a gazillion things. Someone on Twitter the other day says, how do you know if on this big bubble, how do you know if that wasn't a long taking profit? Right? Because I said something about like, oh, whoever sold there got smashed. And they're right to ask that question. But we make assumptions about the market all the time. So what we care about is there a reaction there? And then the subsequent price action. So let's say price comes up, boom, it's oscillating, big bubble, right? Price goes a little higher, goes like this. So let's say there's some passive seller sitting here, right? It's all ask volume, so the bubble is blue like this. The bubble is blue, just like on this side, right? So we're assuming it's kind of like that. And then price moves down, right? It does some oscillations, and then, we make some sort of flag, and then we break up past this point, and then it screams on very little volume. Well, everybody that got caught up in this are now getting punished. Maybe there was a smart player here. Maybe the big player was smart enough to get out here. Maybe they even caused this consolidation, and they were sneaky about it. They took off a few contracts at a time. But regardless, this big bubble, right, as we push through it, not unlike this, whoosh, trap traders. So look, if you can follow the narrative and the subsequent price action after the big bubble, what do you see? All right, here, broke up. Then when we came back, what happened? Bump. Notice now, goes right to this bubble, and then bing, right off it. So this is how we construct a narrative to trade off of. Now, if you constantly assume that you know nothing, and that, well, I don't really know who traded there and who transacted there, and you just kind of keep it simple and always second guess yourself, you'll never get in on this move because, hey, maybe that's a seller. Maybe it's a buyer, right? So you construct a narrative that helps you to trade the price action based on how we broke through that level. Very important. Very important. Anyway. Shift F9 will get rid of all this garbage. Okay. Oh, hey, look. Remember what I was talking about before? The poor high up here. See that? Oh no, now we're selling. What? That's why I asked you guys. You market profile traders. You supposed to go long for the break of the poor high? I'm kind of making fun of you if you say yes. Oh, I hope nobody said yes in the chat. Let me see. Oh, Simsum says most market market profile traders I know short poor highs and long poor lows. Then they keep them as references for the future. Hey, Dirk. It's going well, man. How are you? It's a back pocket item. Well, you are in good company then, Simsum. Keep yourself keep yourself surrounded by the traders that are saying that because they're ahead of the curve. I know a lot of market profile traders that still look at poor high, poor lows, and they're not the sharpest tools in the shed, obviously. Um, and they're like, "That's got to crack. I want it." Oh man. Anyway, what are you gonna do? I need to get some water. I'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back. Did you hear that? Gotta go get water. I'm gonna make like a baby and head out pretty soon. What? That's a parent joke, maybe. Or a postpartum joke. Alright. You guys are like, what is he talking about? That's okay. Alright, I'm so used to you guys being able to see the NQ. Uh I got oh yeah, I got full size NQs going right now. Yeehaw! But you guys only get to see the micros up here. Figured, that's gonna be my way to pay myself during this live stream when I'm not taking MES trades. Make it worth it. Because YouTube just doesn't pay enough money at all. At least not for me. Maybe for some of you guys doing merch. Um, what is it? What else do people do? They do merch. They do. Sorry, let me drink more water here. Join my club. Join my private group. Whatever. They make people. I was just looking into this. They make people pay to be able to chat. So, in other words, you want to ask the great TYP questions? You must pay. That makes sense, I guess. But, like not, um, I don't know. Maybe it does make sense from the perspective of if you're trying to generate money with your business and you have just a crap load of subscribers and they're all spamming the chat. You got to slow it down somehow. Because otherwise, boy, it would turn into just a big ish show, wouldn't it? Anyway, we're testing the bottom side now of the 10 SMA and prior structure. Let's see. Ba-da-da-da, da-da-da. Ch-ch. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, ch-ch. on. Rainer says, "Be careful, Mike. We might go test 4150." Yeah, we might, buddy. I can see that. It's a possible. It's a possible. It's a possible. Oh, you know what? That's not right. Yeah, it is. Okay. Andre! You indeed are my number one fan and an appreciative fellow. Anything you need, my friend. Sans a trip to Italy with Rainer. I give it to you. Thank you very much, man. That's very kind of you. You trying to put me on the hook here? I'm gonna have to go get water pretty soon. Is there a way for me to give it back to you? Let me see. I'm trying. I appreciate it very much, but at the same time, I also feel a little bit like, dang it. I feel like I need to be here a little longer now. Oh man. I appreciate it very much, though, my friend. Kind of you. So, 50 lots at 41.45 on the E-mini. Trying to defend. Well, I appreciate it, Andre. I have a difficult time uh, being gracious and accepting and saying thank you and not feeling like I don't know. It's just anyway. I appreciate it. So let's see. Let's see if we get some movement to the downside here. I think we have stops into 41 just based on the structure. But you never know. So far, excuse me, so far we haven't taken out the candle high either. Yeah, this market's just hesitating, hesitating. Oh, how can we make this more? Let's see. Let's go to chart settings. And here, we'll get this off so you guys can still see the Otherwise, you have this big screen up here like this. So we'll get it off to the side. Chart. Let's see. Where are we looking? We're looking for. I always have to think about this because you deal with use theoretical position average price. Yeah, okay, that's right. That's what we want. Yeah, so we're just still not very locked in here. 1, 2, 3. That's not good. And there's the highs. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it is. Andre Dennis is like, enough said. Shut up. Okay. Yeah, okay, my friend. What? I'm not liking that right here. You kind of, at some point, you want to be more short at a certain level. All these little stops up here on these micros, we're gonna play a position game up here. As Rainer's like, be careful. I know, I know. I heed your warning, Rainer. Rainer, it looks like it's gonna work. I don't think it's too bad. I don't think it's too bad at all. We have some liquidity stacked up here. Now, if you're a bull, what you don't want to see is this bar here selling down. Then that would be bad. Because then you get the short-term lower high, and then you just get all the bulls panic out. Oh, it's too close here. Ba-da-da-da. Human rights. Germany. Okay. Oh, above 100 contracts right up here. 156 or so. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Breaking. Breaking news. Hold on. Let me get Biden putting together a new team to lead economic messaging, de-emphasizing role of Yellen. They want to wordsmith everything. Oh boy. Probably. Never a good sign. Who knows? It's just news. It's unimportant news. Maybe. We'll see. But it's never a good sign when they say that the president is trying to wordsmith stuff because they're worried about the economy. But we'll see. Ba, 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 ba. There we go. Uh, yeah, Trevor. I mean, yeah, I know what you're talking about, man. Can we just say it openly? We've had the worst damn presidents here in the United States for a long time. Why can't we just. Oh, God, I don't want to get into it. But why can't we just elect some engineer or something? You know? Hey, look at that. Our break even is up here at 73. It's a good trade now. Whatever. Come on. Ba, 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 ba. All right, we're out. Maybe I should have taken the scalp long here as I got out into what? Little momentum loss. That's all it was. I'm watching my Dom. I'm watching time and sales. I'm watching the price slow down. How do you how do you quantify what I did just right there? A little bit of short-term tape reading. Order flow. That's it. That's all that was. Nothing wrong with Rayner's long at 41 though. Maybe I should get on Rayner's side. Truth be told, well, I'm not going to talk about something that's not up on the screen. I was going to tell you how I'm long NQ, but you know, that doesn't matter. Different trade. You're what? You're short MES, long NQ? Well, anyway, won't talk about it because it's not up on the screen. So, hey. Mirren, I'm no longer short MES. I got out of that little position. Joseph, I think what Joseph is talking about on the 100 contracts, which I already had kind of addressed, is this up here. And I think what Joseph might be kind of pointing out is that when you have a fair amount of interest to buy up here, like 100 plus contracts near the highs, it still shows there's an interest to transact up there. Right? Now, if this tapered out really lovely, right, to like 10, 11, 12, 30, 40 contracts and then whoosh, rejected back in, that's one thing, right? But right now, you just have some sellers in here, right? You got some give back here, right? Some longs getting shaken out. We're headed back up, ladies and gentlemen. Headed back up. Anywho, let's put it to a vote. So, Mirren, the time in sales, I said it at the beginning of the broadcast, but I'll say it again, no problem. It combines a little bit. So it's combining same price and type. Let's see. Settings window. Yeah. Combine records with same price and type. Right? That's what it is. Yeah, Joseph, so one of the reasons why I get in on the first touch of this area, so you see this little orange rectangle with an extension, that's an unfinished auction. So essentially, here, I'll try to explain it. As we come, let me turn this on. As we come back up here, like that, this unfinished auction right here exists because there was aggressive sellers. Once the bid got to this level, they aggressively sold it to the downside. So any long that was left from here and that went long here looking for an upside break when we come back here is likely going to get out around break even because they had a big move. Well, big. You know, we had an 8-point move to the downside. And if they're still holding on, they're sweating back at this level. Hence the reason for playing against them and trying to get short here for a small little move back. That's it. Trap traders, right? You guys know me. I really focus on that for scalping. Anyway, quick vote. Would you guys? So we're in RTH right now, but all this is the ETH action, and it goes from here all the way to this blue line. You guys want me to get rid of this and make it RTH profiles only? Yes, to get rid of it. No, to keep it as it is. Good morning, Shane. Yeah, Super Walnuts, I do. I think it's like Sierra chart tips and tricks. Oh, I'm sorry, Pierrick. Happens to the best of us, my friend. Uh, Super Walnuts. It's something like Sierra chart tips and tricks number 7, maybe. Look in the description. I talk about order types on the video. Okay, Bam T says yes. What did I say? Yes to get rid of, right? No. No. Yes. We're tied. No, no. I can't remember what I said, guys. This is keep it. Yes. Jeez. I'm trying. Pierrick, we don't really know who the best here is. We don't know. We may have some savvy vets. I'm cheering Rainers long and my NQ long right now. Go, go, go. On NQ, I'm targeting around 840 to 850, by the way. Keep ETH. Keep it. All right. We'll just keep the ETH then. All right. Maybe someone. No equals keep. Thank you, Alfred. I'm losing myself here. You know, you guys don't realize. Well, some of you do. I had a very long night with the kids. We have a 4-month-old. She's not feeling well, so I am wrecked right now. Absolutely wrecked. And I was up trading Globex last night. I posted a little bit on Twitter, but at some point I was just so focused on trading I was ignoring all the Twitter stuff. Oh, cool. Cool, Super Walnuts. Maybe if you put the link here in the chat, somebody else will be like, oh, cool. They could watch it. Anyway. All right, so what do we got here? Flat 48. Nice trade, Rainer. Nice trade, my friend. Plus 6.5 for Rainer. Woohoo! Let's see. Can we put some hand clapping in here? Oh, you know what I should have done? Create a poll. Leave EPO ETH on or off? Yes? Add option. There you go. Is that it? Create poll. Ask your community. Add option. Yeah, okay. I think that's it. There. Oh, there it is. Boom. There's now a poll in the top of the chat. Booyah. Now we don't have to figure it out. Because you know what? I couldn't count up all those. Oh, the poll is going bonkers. Back and forth. All right. Back to the chat here as I. And I'm still long in Q. You're like, but where are you long from? Well, I am long from a lot earlier, about, let's see, an hour ago, and I am long from 768. So, we go below that, I'll stop out. It would suck, but I'm holding for this higher level. If you saw my TPO chart for NQ, you'd know why I was holding for above 825, right? It's just a prior day's swing high. That's why I'm holding for it. I think it's going to pop, but, who knows? All right, looks like yes wins the day. We'll leave it on. Auto magically. Yep, yes is at 61. All right. Okay, so Alfred asks a great question or suggests a great Andre Dennis says ETH has been overtaken. Not useful anymore. Um what if we pull back? Andre? See, Andre paid me, so whatever Andre asks is he's a priority. I agree, Andre, that right now it's not important. But if we start pulling back, do you think it's support? Especially with, so we have 3 sets of RTH singles, right? We have this top set, we have this second, and this third set. Do you think if we pull back here, right? Let's expand this a little bit. If we pull back here, that we would bounce? I think it then becomes important, Andre. You think it's too small? Remember, 4120 in the ETH acted like an important area because there was an iceberg seller at 41, I want to say 4110, if my memory serves me right, and quite a few. Oh boy, big sweep here on the mini. Well, not big, but big enough. There's some sellers that have been found up here again, right? Just went in up here, right? Look at that. Check it out. Right? Some liquidity up there. We know about this liquidity, but it's up there. We have some 60, 20, 30, 25, 12, and 20 lots up at 41.50. And then above that, we have a 250 lot sitting at 51.75. But it's certainly, that's that 51.75. It's certainly acting like, it has the effect of sweeping out the traders that are stuck from up here. Because remember, RTH, we came up here and we sold down through here with viciousness, right? Singles and everything. But the traders who are trapped from the volume node. So anyway, if we get a pullback right now, Andre, and that 4110 right here, so you see the big volume ledge from the ETH in the volume profile. So that holds, I don't know, maybe 3,000 contracts. So I do get maybe 4,000 from this European session. And then this one's even bigger. So 4120 maybe holds 5,000 contracts, 6,000. We now broke above. Now, did we test it short term? Yep, a little bit. But it's now a low volume node for RTH. So if we come back, and it happens to be singles, and most singles all do have low volume nodes because they're aggressive buyers. If we come back, do you think they might fill that in? And that they may take a shot back up to T+2? Because remember, you come back, T+2 is now a bounce area. That's here. You go below it, you usually test the underside of T+2. The question is, where does it bounce if it comes through? Probably into low volume. Maybe you run stops here, but you probably fill some of this in and try and test T+2 again. So, Andre, You see, Andre gets his questions answered very well. So, Andre, I kind of disagree with you on that, in that I think that ETH could be important, but I do agree with you that ETH at the moment has already passed. Now, if you load a lot of data into your TPO chart like I do, I just generally keep a lot of data in there. I don't want to have to toggle back and forth. So that's just kind of for me, I prefer to just not have to toggle evening session and day sessions on or off. But anyway, those are that's my rationale for, or argument, playing devil's advocate why I would leave it. So for you, new Sierra chart people, one of the things you can do is, let's say you get your letters displaying at the size you like in the right proportions, right? And you see how it's locking the X and Y axes. You can do set X and Y constant relationship. Turn that on, and then both will expand at the same rate, and then you'll get a nice looking letter that doesn't look disproportionate, or doesn't expand or elongate or widen in a weird way. Okay, so that's one way. I do think so. We're trying to break up here. Rainer's like, oh no! No, it's okay. You can't cry over spilled milk. You had to win. Chalk it up. Be happy. One of the things though, like let's say you double click this, it's not going to do anything with that set XY relationship on. You've got to go in, turn that off. Then when you double click this, oh, you got to set it back to automatic scale range. Then it'll keep everything in the middle like that. See that? Right. Then it attempts to do a job of doesn't do a great job, but it attempts to keep everything within the screen vertically, and then as you slide the time axis, everything just widens apart. So anyway, maybe about there. We'll set the relationship. That's how I prefer it most of the time. And notice when you set the relationship, it changes the scale range to constant range. So anyway, let's zoom in again. Yeah, that's right. So a part of me wants to short this. The other part of me looks at this here as balance and says double balance up to here. And I'm still long biased. I'm still long biased on my NASDAQ. Oh yeah, come on, Nas. Let's get it. Get it a little higher. Yeah, we got it. TPLC. All right, taking off some NASDAQ here. Clickety click. Take off some NASDAQ. I'm not the FOMO player. Yes, I wanted 840 to 845. But, you know, when you're up 50, 60 points on the NAS, you know, pigs, what do they say? There's a saying about being greedy and getting slaughtered, blah, blah, blah. Still might go. So anyway, I have a long bias for the NASDAQ. Not as much with the E-mini, but this balance area makes me not want to get short on the E-mini. So they're buying into it up here, 52.25. There's a seller up here that keeps reloading and hitting bids. Just short term. It's nothing too crazy, but it's enough. It's enough to cause a little bit of green barrage up here, right? 1,400 contracts or so. 1,500 contracts now. in short order being sold here at 52.25. You see that? Someone's buying, someone's selling. All right, the poll is ended. ETH stays up. Thank you for voting, guys. 27 votes. We have 37 people here. 27 voted. Anyway, if you guys haven't liked the video, I would appreciate you guys liking the video. It does help with the YouTube algo, blah, blah, blah. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Hey, let's see. Andre, I appreciate that. He says he must bow to me. Please don't bow. We can bow to each other. I appreciate the great question, as usual, from you, and the discourse. That is, I get a lot out of it. So, ask me all the questions you want about the market, my friend. The more I talk about it, the more I'm forcing my brain to go through the sequence of events it needs to go through to understand, or potentially, Feynman method, the ish out of things. And hopefully we all come out of this a little smarter. I'm getting excited. The NAS has got some extraordinary absorption up here. I didn't have that many contracts. A little more. I will be all out above 840 on the NAS. All out, like 100%. It sucks that it's like kind of hesitating here, but you just got to give it a little time. My stops on the NAS are at 810 now. You want to come get my stops? You're going to have to take it down 20 points. Come on, MFers. Not you guys. Let's see. Bulls make money. Bears make money and pigs get slaughtered. That's it, Andre. Thank you. Yeah, Trevor. That's it. Rafael Artigas asks about strategies. Man, I got a lot of videos on that, Rafael. One is like, there's just a bunch out there, man. A bunch out there. Andre says, I have a more difficult question early on this session. Have a look. Okay. So you mean you asked the question already? Where is it? Can you repeat it, my friend? It's a long chat up there. Yeah. Come on. Nas, poo. Come on, Nas. Get me all out. There's a 50 lot sitting up at 38 on the NASDAQ. Kind of slowing up the show. And then we got another 50 lot at 47. But clear skies above 50 on the NAS. Clear skies. They gonna go get me? Gonna go get me at 10? Jerks. Oh, well. What are you gonna do? It's a long question. Yeah, it's all good, man. No rush. To quote you, no rush, Andre. Oh, you know what one of my pet peeves is, traders? Is when I get traders coming in trying to sell their stuff. But in doing so, they never give me a predictive chart. They put their indicators up and they say, look, after the fact, brag, brag, brag. Look at how easy this was. And there's no predictive anything. Give me a predictive chart once in a while. Prove your point ahead of time. Because we can all curve fit our ish to the charts. Does me no use to see a curve fit anything almost after the fact. You're like, but then what is analysis? Yeah, but when you're discussing with other traders, if all you're doing is pointing out what happened all the time, then trying to take credit, and you want me to believe you do nothing but win? Oh man. To be honest, all I want to tell those people is shut your pie hole. Because you offer nothing. You have no predictive power in my eyes. You don't impress me with your post ad hoc whatever analysis. Your peanut gallery analysis. Backseat driver in the car. Hey, you're supposed to drive this way. What? Anyway. I like the short Rainer because here's what is likely happening. And I don't know that Rainer uses footprint in the same way, or if he's even using it. He might be looking at price action. But you have this move here where you've got all this volume. We come up and low volume, and then we easily pass through 52 or come back to it. It means usually the players that positioned here, right there. Here, let me get rid of this. The players that are positioned right here are in control, and they're able to push it down below their entry. So this is exactly, man, what was I? Oh, I was talking to Timmy about this yesterday. Timmy trades. He's a great trader. I don't know if he's a great trader, but he's a good trader, and I like talking to him as much as I can. And he was part of my old Discord that doesn't exist anymore. And he was like, how the heck do you know to short sometimes, man? Like, they're just volume. Like, dude, when it comes up like this, and then it comes back, and then it pushes right below it like nobody's business, that means whoever positioned here, they got you by the balls. And there's no urgency to defend it and move it back up. Hence, Rainer short off 52, great trade. Great trade. As soon as he said it, I saw it. Anyway, he's not explaining it. Rainer, I'm trying to explain it for you, my friend. Did I get it right, Rainer? Shane says, I refer to backseat drivers as soon-to-be hitchhikers. I like it. Get the hell out of my car. Right? Oh, man, that's great, Shane. Yeah, I mean, I'm a family guy now, so I don't really have these kind of people in my car, but when I was a young lad, taking all kinds of people around that I barely knew, that would have been perfect. I was a little more hardcore then. Now I'm like, I've softened up. My testosterone levels have dropped by like 9 million percent. It's amazing as you get older. You just like, I'm so much less some people might say Mike's pretty argumentative now. I was so much more argumentative in my 20s. I mean, I'll debate you about anything and everything if I disagreed with you. Not fun. Well, fun for some people, right? Sometimes I knew when to put the brakes on. And I'm not like a complete moron or anything, but yeah, I was definitely on the level of, yeah, you better not say something too stupid and have too strong of an opinion and push your opinion on that guy because he'll push back. Now I'm just like, okay, yeah, whatever. But anyway, I get to talk now, right? This is my platform, so I just talk and talk and talk. The only people that disagree with me are in chat. Anyway, things are different. Oh, the heat map. I gotcha. I got you, Rainer. This is what Rainer's talking about, is this heat map here. Right? Zinc. You see that? Right. Right there. It is? Oh, damn it. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that, man. What a nooblet. What a nooblet. Let's change it. Um, that ES time and sales has been doing a weird thing all day long. All right. Number 2, yes, EPM 22. Let's see if we can't change it. Da, 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 da. Let's see. 2. That's number 2. Number 2. Number 2. There's a big old list of things here. I get the wrong one, I immediately out my account number. Can't do that. All right. What is... There's a way to do studio mode, right? Studio mode, that's it. Okay, so... All right, let's get rid of that. Is that off? Nope, it's not off. The ES time and sales. Cancel. Oh, weird. Huh. All right, I'll turn Studio Mo off. Turn that off. Oh, that is too strange. Huh. Well, son of a gun. Well, we're just going to turn time and sales off because so this on in OBS, and I'm on Linux, guys, so there's some weird stuff that happens on Linux in OBS. It just does. When I do the window itself, or the browser window, it keeps wanting to default to the NQ rather than the ES. And it's because I think I copied it and then just made a setting. And so it's like in its memory somewhere. It's like, nope, you go back to NQ. And it fixed at some point, and it's just, it reverted. So anyway, we'll mess with it another time when I can't make a stupid error, which I make many sometimes. Anyway, big ticks to the upside. All right, let's go back to the chat. Back to the chat. Rainer, heat map, and TPO, and volume profile like Jim Dalton uses. Cool. I like it. Warriors or Celtics? Well, I'm in Cali. Who would I like to win it? Probably the Celtics. You know, I'm a Portland Trailblazers fan because I grew up in Oregon. So that's my team. Win, lose, or draw. But, yeah, I like Curry. I like a lot of the Warriors. I like the coach, Kerr. But the Celtics, they got some young talent. And, I don't know. It's just be nice to pass the baton to the East, to the Celtics, the dynasty. I'm a fan of the way Jason Tatum plays the game, his mentality. So, Celts. Oh, yeah. Celtics. Let's see. So, Andre, it's a long question. Okay. I did not see clues. So this is Andre asking a question. I did not see clues suggesting a potential up reversal this morning. The 10:15 and 10:20 Eastern time bars fooled me. Any insights? Um, I stayed out of the market when I thought, and I will tell you, we'll just look at it on a TPO chart, okay? Um, we got to get rid of this now. When we were in this area this morning, chopping around, I told my wife, I said, I don't really want to trade this. The range is too great. And it wouldn't surprise me if we fail here before this high and make an inside day. And boy, was I ever wrong. And when I'm that wrong, like I was wrong to the point where I told my wife, I said, I almost told all of Twitter that this is my prediction for the day. I almost just came out and said, I predict we're going to have an inside day. And I didn't do it because I got busy. That's the honest truth. So I don't have a lot to, I don't have, I kind of think, Andre, that today is driven by insiders based on the price action. And you're like, well, that's a weird thing to surmise as a technical analyst. It's just what it looks like. It looked indecisive, and it seemed when there was any news blurb that price would move quickly in what appeared to be the favorable direction for the news. That just shows me it's a kind of an emotionally driven market. If you go look at a 30-minute chart, we're in this, like, kind of zoom out. We're in this big bull flag pattern, and we're breaking up right now. Right? So when we broke this morning, 41.20, that triggers, well, let's see. Look here. No. 41.36. I don't have a line on it, but I'm just visually I'm looking at it. Let's see. Right there, right there, right there. All right. 41.38. That triggers the bulls to get long. Everybody who uses use diagonal trend lines and look at like bull flags would be triggered into longs. And here I'll attempt to try and move that chart into a screen. I'm going to put it into the large volume trade with the heat map screen is where I'm going to try to move it here. And that way we're all seeing what I'm talking about here. Right there. Right? It's this. You see how we have this. God, I don't like moving stuff, guys. Not like this. It takes me too long. We got this, and now we're breaking this trend line, right? A lot of bulls are getting bullish here. They didn't quite get my stops on the NASDAQ. I'm out. I'm flat on the NASDAQ, guys. Woohoo! All out. Anyway, so this pattern here is just a bull flag. So higher time frame stuff, this or 30-minute with several days, it's definitely a flag, right? So at least on the candles, RTH, that's what it is. Let me get rid of this chart. So Andre, nothing super illuminative. I know. But that is how it is for me sometimes. I don't always have to have Uh, a, well, I don't always have to have a strong opinion when I don't have one. I don't want to make something uh, fit, right? I just want it to be something that makes sense. Gosh, I'm still spending time trying to get this stinking screen back where it needs to be. Ugh. All right, let's go. All right, I think we're good here. See, now we still have all this crap over the top. All right. Rayner taking the stop like a pro. And you guys realize that's so important in the market. We don't always just win, win, win. And you don't add to losers unless it's a longer term position and it's part of your plan to add larger and to define your risk that way. So what Rayner did, kudos to you, my friend. How many times do you see me stop out and lose? So any of you guys that are like new to trading and you think, oh, professional traders, they do nothing but win, win, win. No, 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 no. You know what we do best? We manage risk. We stay in the game and we let the long-term numbers speak for themselves. Anyway. Alfred, maybe. I don't know. All right, Dennis says, how much importance do you put in defining the type of day in the first 15 to 30 minutes? I don't in the 15, but the first 60 minutes. So, Andre, here's the skinny on it. If the first 60-minute range is really wide and really choppy, okay, meaning the bulls have tried, the bears have tried, and we settle somewhere in the middle, and it's the compared to all the prior days, initial balance or first 60 minutes of trade for RTH, compared to prior days, it's a very wide range. What you're going to have are players that are positioned over a wide area there. And so typically the market struggles to break out because it's not consolidated tightly. So let's just use an example, right? We're going to put this on the chart. We're going to assume this is the first 60 minutes. So, all right, so this is day 1. This is day 2. So these all represent sessions. Day 3, okay? Day 1, the first 60 minutes of trade goes like this, right? Okay. That's 60 minutes to here, right? Day 2, like, Day 3. Now these are all relative to each other. And this line is not part of the movement, right? This is just saying 60 minutes. This is 60 mark. 60 mark. 60 minutes mark. Day 3 is like this. Now relative to this, it's something like that, right? Now, here's 60-minute mark. You might argue, like this is some sort of triangle. We get these. And that it still may break up or it may break down. But I would argue, because of this range, and this holds the highest volume, and relative to preceding days, it's a very wide initial balance. So this initial balance is, say, 70 to 100% the width of these preceding days. Because this is wider initial balance, we may get the break from this symmetrical triangle, but the break is likely to fail before. So if this is 50% of initial balance, the break is likely to fail before 50% and then come back into range. Hence, why this, with this choppy range here in this TPO, oops. Oh, you guys can't see it. Bummer. Let's see. Oh, you can't see that mark. Bummer, bummer, bummer. Well, that's irritating. Let's see. Does it work? Nope. It doesn't work. Whale. Let's try this again. Nope. It doesn't work. Bummer. All right. Let's do this. Shift F9. Hence, gotta use all my tools. Hence why this range here, why I thought today we were going to get close to the top up here. And this is 50% right here. It's dark, it's hard to see. I thought we were going to come in here, and I thought, I got to use all my tools now, that we were going to come back into range. And I was wrong. So even if this theory works out most of the time, you could still have days where you're wrong. Hence why when you asked the question about the reversal this morning, I started talking about what I thought the day was going to be, and that I thought the day was shaping up according to news-driven or whatever events. Because this activity with initial balance suggested to me that this would have difficulty breaking out with the overnight being here. So it was very tricky. I didn't take longs out of this. I played in this range and scalped. And then at a certain point I said, this is going to get messy, right? And that's where I ended. So, superpower time. Sit on your hands. That's what it was for me. So I hope that kind of answers your question a little bit. Here, let's see if I can get over here. Undo all this garbage. Little liquidity sitting here at 60. Oh, maybe OBS is just not showing it on the TPO screen. It's not on my screen. The OBS preview that I have, let's see. Well, that's okay. It's explanation's over, but Media Brewer, sitting on hands is a superpower because cash is a position. Definitely is a position. It's still, God, it's probably. So Alfred asked me a question earlier that I knew if I started to answer, I'd probably talk about for a while, which is habits, bad habits. How did you get over them? So my initial knee-jerk response was to maybe tell Alfred, well, I'm still getting over some of them, right? Cut myself down a little bit, be a little realistic. And that is realistic for me. Here, let me change this real quick. All right, so my question is, did we double balance already? Yes, we did. We doubled it here. This extending red is some bid volume from, I don't know, in the past. That has never been touched, by the way. So what does that represent? It represents a big imbalance, like 1,000 lots, that had incredible bid volume or volume that hit the bid that has never been touched again right here. This little itty bitty red line, red extension up here is bid volume. In other words, there was aggressive selling through what was likely either a size player or an iceberg, and now we're coming back to it for the first time, where there was, what, aggressive selling before. So what? Strong hands from way up here? Maybe? Or trap players? That's the question. Anyway, back to Alfred's question, which was a good one. Bad habits. So, I'm going to list some bad habits for me. Number one bad habit is being impatient with trades because I'm able to see price action and read order flow very quickly on a short time horizon. In other words, I could easily get into trades all day, 30 and hold them 30 seconds to a minute and a half and make money. Right? And sometimes ignoring the fact that I'm in a trade that has a price target and a stop loss. And taking the 0.8R winner that happens immediately because of good location and not waiting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, sometimes 15 or 20 minutes for the 2R trade that I initially got into. Right? So not following my plan in that specific kind of situation. So for me, number one, you need to be able to identify that is a problem. So before you even start talking about bad habits, you're like, well, what are my habits? What's the cause of them? You got to ask all these deeper questions, right? Is there an emotional characteristic to my problem, right? My biggest losers, are they because I held my losers for the greatest amount of time and so I'm afraid of holding trades in time? Because big winners require time. So maybe there's a little association my brain has with, hey, every time I hold a trade too long, it turns to, I remember my biggest loser from way back in the past, and I never really identified I did this. My biggest loser ever was the longest held trade. So I have an association with that, a fear response, if you will. So you got to identify that, right? So what helps with that? It's not listening to me talk about it on YouTube. It's going and buying a book like The Daily Trading Coach by Steenbarger or Jared Tendler's The Mental Game, and reading all the chapters of those books and putting in the effort to understand what it is he's talking about, and then try to apply what you read to your own trading. Number one. So in that specific instance, what helped me was putting literally a timer and saying, I either hit my target on this very small size and get out of the trade, or I let it run to the full stop, regardless of whether new information comes into the market. And you're like, well, that's dumb. But yeah, I'm risking a small amount of money to try to train out of myself my bad habit. And it's important to risk real money when you've formed a habit, when you've been trading real money. If you're forming bad habits on sim, and then you try and go trade real money, the emotions are going to be magnified, amplified 50 to 100 times with your own real money, right? All the lessons you think you're learning with the funded account, right? Or you're on sim, or you're on in a combine trying to, right, qualify for a funded account. All the emotional lessons you think you're learning are not going to stick with you when you trade your own money. You're like, well, that's not very nice of you to say. I don't like that. It is the difference between risking your own money and not. And there's a big difference between risking your own money and having a part-time or full-time job and risking your own money and have trading be your full-time job with no backstop. And there's a difference between being a full-time trader with lots of money in the bank where you don't need to live on your income week to week from trading because you have a nest egg for your trading, and a full-time trader that has a small account that has to perform every week. So there's lots of different levels to this. And I want to be absolutely crystal clear for you traders that are just starting out. There's a big, 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 big difference between all of these levels, right? Sim, combine, funded trader, right? All limited risk, right? The risk on a sim account, whatever you pay for your data feed and software. The risk on a combine, whatever you paid the person you're trying to qualify for the funded account, right? The risk on a funded account. The risk of not making the money that you are now trading, and whatever it costs you to trade their money. The initial funding, right? And then part-time job, real money, the risk of having your own capital exposed. Full-time job, small account, the risk of having to risk more to maybe have a higher return. That's probably one of the most stressful. Optimally, you want to have a proven track record before you quit your job and become a full-time trader. And you want to have a small percentage return, be able to pay your bills. So you want to have enough capital that you don't have to perform like an elite trader all the time to pay your bills. And then you have less pressure, right? So there's all these different levels. I'd say there's like 7. I just talked about this with Timmy Trades yesterday. So there's like 7 different levels, essentially, that you can look at traders and go, these are all the different exposure levels you have, right? And of course, I'm not even talking about working for someone as a trader. That's a whole different thing, right? Trading somebody else's money, having a job, full-time job, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole different thing. I've never done that, right? But that fits in there as well. I agree, Alfred. Alfred says if you sit in loser, you become irrational. And many people like this crazy pain. And then come silly decisions. Yeah, it could be. I know people that are able to sit in winners and they're able to sit in losers. And they just stop where they stop and they take profit when they take profit. And that to me is a superpower. The ability to sit through trades for long periods of time and let your targets run. That is a superpower in trading. The real danger comes when you aren't willing to admit you made a mistake and you change your plan and your loser gets bigger. And that's what when we talk about defining risk all the time, you need to define risk. This market is interesting up here. 11:30, 2:30 Eastern. My Rainer, you took a short at 57. My instincts are to take a short here, but I don't think that I've seen the initiative sellers that I'm looking for yet. I think this is just a drifting market still. You might be right on this level. You might very well be right, my friend. We'll see. I hope you're right. I hope you're right for a lot of shekels here. Let's see. Here's where we're at. Right to the. So here's RTH here. ETH, ETH. Not a lot of volume up in here. But this definitely holds some trap trader. It's interesting. I think we might just be rotating out some of these traders. This is value area high from RTH here. Back from, what is that, 531? Yeah. I'm not I'm not sold yet on a short up here. This market's a little too lazy. Nobody's, you know, I I want to be honest, Rainer. I want to see some top buyers. I want to see people pouring in and big absorption. Right now, we are just consolidating sideways. And you could make the argument that we double balance here up to here, and that longs are no longer getting paid up through here, but neither are shorts. So just consolidation. I don't know. Yeah, Mirren, I do like to see mega traps first. I mean, I'm risking my own capital. I'm not trading somebody else's capital, right? And so I want to take the very best setup that I can. And I'm in what I consider a time of day that lacks momentum. And I like trading momentum. So this is just lazy trading. A lot of fake outs. So, yeah, not a huge. I'm not a huge fan of entering positions here, but it doesn't mean that it won't fly to the downside. I just. Anybody that takes a trade, I'm cheering for you. But as you can see, I'm not in a trade, and I got out of my NASDAQ trade right where I said I was going to. So I took off at 30, and I went above 40, and I'm all out. So it's very happy to take a winner and sit on it and wait for the next setup. Maybe it's tomorrow. Maybe it's tonight. Maybe it's into the close. I don't know. But this is what I was going to talk about earlier. Is one of the things that another bad habit is that I used to push for trades, right? Like, I don't know. Let's say, okay, I went to the coast Friday, so I didn't trade Friday. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday was Memorial Day, so I didn't trade. So 4 days off. I used to come back from a 4-day weekend and really push when I was, first trading. And especially if the market was volatile, I'd push even more. I couldn't just stay out and wait for my setup. And I had plenty of good setups, but I would push it. And I learned as I got older and started trading longer, I learned that you can just sit on the sidelines and wait for the next setup, and there will be another setup. And that you make far more money doing that than constantly getting into a market where you're taking a very low probability setup just because you crave activity. So I started losing a lot less money when I started to sit on my hands more and just wait and wait and wait and wait. That's the honest truth. I think I've told a lot of you guys this story, but there was once upon a time that I used to trade only the open, and then I got so good at it that I started trading. Okay, I'd return on a futures account maybe 4 or 5%. So I was risking a lot, but I was trading a lot at the open. Every single morning on a futures account in the first 30 minutes to hour. Very good at trading opens, right? I had a bunch of different opening range setups, gap and goes, S reversals, half back tests. The overnight session moved in the first, second, and third session like this. And so, okay, here's where trap traders are. Here's the bias, right? Here's net long. I mean, just the whole thing. Like I had a ton of opening setups. Oh, my fingers. Looks like it's burned. And I got really good at it. And one of the problems is that every morning I'd make a crap load of money in the first 30 minutes to hour, almost every morning. Some days you have losers, but by and large, my wife can attest to this. I make a crap load. I'm like, babe, I'm up X thousands of dollars, right? And then I turn around and walk back in with that overconfident demeanor, continue to trade until the essentially 1 p.m. Eastern, right? 10 a.m. And all through 9, maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock my time. So about, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern, I would just nick myself to death and give it all back and then some. And you would think after a while I'd learn not to trade that time. But no, every morning I go out, make money, get confident, and then give a lot of it back. Almost all of it, or go negative. Still a winning trader overall, but not by much. Over the month. Not by much. So, working for free some months, almost. Practically. It is hard to overcome. It's hard to overcome your humanness, your like the bad nature, your worst nature. It is so stinking hard. Hold on, looking at this price action here. It's really hard to overcome your nature when maybe you're the type of person that gets confident when you do very well, and then you get a little over. And I see this with a lot of people, or even on Twitter or whatever. People are like, they have a good day, they have a good week, and the way they're talking to me is like, I'm slaying it, brother. I'm the man. I'm killing it. This is my game, and you're just all playing, right? This is my sandlot, and you're all just playing in it. And it's like 1 or 2 days. I'm like, dude, you just had a good day, and that's it. And you're already this confident. How long have you been trading? A year. But I'm the man now because I had a good day. I had a freaking awesome day, and I had like 12 winners in a row. I'm now an awesome trader. And that depends on the personality, doesn't it? Some people, you have an awesome day or sequence of events, and you're still passive, right? You're like the little shrew that's afraid of its shadow or something, right? And that's just your personality. Some of us, you have a good day, And it's like, everyone bow down to me, right? So you got to identify what kind of personality type are you? Are you the arrogant son of a gun that has a string of winners and then gets overconfident? Or are you the type of person that's somewhere in between? You know, somebody who's always afraid in the market. Or are you the scaredy pants? It doesn't matter how many winners you have in a row, you're always afraid of the next loss. Identify that. Really important to think about the psychology of trading, because that's going to really impact whether you can think clearly every day and even notice your own bad habits. So, anyway, Alfred, that's my attempt at bad habits, trader psychology. I'd say go to the master, go to Jared Tendler, go to. He has a YouTube channel, so maybe go check that out. I recommend his book. I buy the audiobook, and you go work out, listen. You go potty, put some Bluetooths on, some whatever. Put some headphones on, an earpiece in, listen. You go take a drive, plug it into your car, have a listen, right? Brett Steenbarger, I really love that guy. He works for SMB, I think. He has a YouTube channel, like the 3-minute whatever. It's like 3 minutes. He does all these YouTube videos that are only 3 minutes long. He's got a YouTube channel, but, he's a professional trading coach. He's a psychologist. He's a doctor. He's been around. And he's also a trader. Okay, so go subscribe to his channel. Give all those little short blurbs a listen. If you're like, well, I can't afford a book right now. Well, I understand. Go give it a listen. You'll learn something. Mark Douglas. RIP. Rest in peace. He's now deceased. But Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone is a great book. I have that hardcover. But there's a whole YouTube series out there where Mark has done, 4-hour presentations on a lot of the material that he wrote about in his book. And I believe it's probably, well, I don't know now, but it used to be on YouTube. Okay? So one of the good things about my old Discord that doesn't exist anymore is we had an educational channel. We had all these links to all this stuff. We had a psychology channel. Hundreds and hundreds of links. I'm sure people still curse me for getting rid of that Discord because of all that stuff. Right? It was a big library of information. And setups and journals and blah, blah, blah. People are still like, you're the worst steward of that information ever. I get it. I probably was. Do it yourself then, MFer. Organize it. Do it yourself. If you don't like how I did it, you'll see how much work it is for no pay. It's not fun. Let me tell you. Nassim Taleb, Incerto series is a must read. Hey, thank you, Brahim, for that. Simsum says, I think I'm a shrew. Me too sometimes. The other day, after I came back from my vacation, or whatever, on Tuesday, I guess that was 2 days ago, I was so afraid to trade. And it had nothing to do with if I lost money or didn't, or I'd been making money. I've been making money. It's me losing money has not been an issue. I just felt that way. And I tried to identify why the heck I felt that way. Fearful of trading. Naturally fearful. Not a conscious decision. Just whenever I'd walk in, look at markets, and think about putting a position on, I literally felt fearful every single time I thought about putting a trade on. That's not normal for me. It's very abnormal. yet it was there. Really interesting. Anyway, I identified, I don't want to talk about it for a long time, but I identified the reasons and why my brain went there, and it had to do with what was going on in my life with family and different people and exposure to things. And so I identified it, and then once I identified it, I was able to say, like, okay, well, this is the root cause of this. This has nothing to do with trading. I still trade with edge. I still just need to be a big boy, an adult, a mature trader, and just take my setups no matter what. Doesn't change any. This lack of wanting to take risk because of other areas of my life and family or whatever should not affect my trading. So, anyway, we're emotional creatures, aren't we? We're emotional. So, it's what it is. Anyway, back to, if you guys are here and you're enjoying what you're hearing, just hit a like if you could on the channel. It really does help with the YouTube algorithm and all of that stuff. Kind of keeps me coming back for more. Keeps me, you scratch my back, I scratch yours and keep talking. Again, that's if you like what you hear, but I really appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, personality, Rainer. You understand. Rainer's been trading. So, guys, Rainer Blanky has been trading since 90. Rainer, was it 98, you said? Is that right? 90, 95, 96, 98, something in the 90s, right? So, Rainer's been trading over 25 years. Futures. Yeah, Simsum. You know, it's one of the most important things for trading is to do is to dig deep and figure out what's going on. So there was a guy in our old Discord channel, EJ, who very logical, right? Very rational. And he would say sometimes, I mean, hopefully I'm not misrepresenting him, but he would say sometimes, you know, people are too focused on psychology. You just got to get in and execute and do what you're supposed to do. So that was his method of coping with psychology. Just get in and do it. And that worked for him. But it doesn't work for everybody. And it is important if you have some bad. So not everybody is as rational, and not everybody can trade without there being an emotional quality in their trading. Some traders feel a lot of emotion while they trade, and others simply execute. My wife would be a great trader because she would simply execute according to her rules. And if she had edge, she'd just rinse and repeat and never deviate. She is a rule follower to the hilt. Unfortunately, she doesn't enjoy trading. Tried. I have more emotion in my personality generally. I feel different ways after I make trades. And you guys might even hear it, right? In the way I talk. You know, I'm still fairly introspective, you know, self-aware. But that doesn't mean I don't feel emotion. Some people are fairly self-aware, recognize why they're taking the trades that they do, and there's not a huge emotional quality. So you have to recognize whether you're that type of person that you have an emotional quality. The people that are able to dissociate the emotional quality of trading very easily, or don't really have it, are a little more like EJ. They're like, I don't know what the big deal is, you bunch of pansies. Get over it and execute according to your plan. Quit giving me excuses. But a lot of that is born out of the fact that that goes with their personality. So it's not a knock on EJ. I rather think it's awesome that he's that way with trading. Execute and don't think about it so much. Don't get emotional over it. It either fits your criteria and execute or it doesn't. But some of us, we make a good trade and we're puffing out our chests like a proud lion. Roar! Some of us, we make a trade and we're shaking like the shrew, right? And for various reasons, but it's good. If you have such an emotional quality creep up into your trading, and most of us do, it's where you should read a few books on psychology, and it'll help you. Anyway, just execute, Pansy. Since '98, says Rayner. Cool. Lots of respect, Rayner. Lots of respect. Everybody that's been trading for much longer than I have, or even trading full time, mad respect for you. Mad respect. Up to the 60s and rejection, right? Go fill that liquidity. You see that? Feel the liquidity and back down right there. You see that? Brink. It's interesting. Someone is defending that fill right up there. Kind of interesting, guys. Fill it, market sell it. That is a little bit different here. That quick, shoo, and then you see the sweep. Oh, you guys can't see the time and sales. Bummer. Anyway, they're sweeping a little bit. You can kind of see it here with the blocks. They're sweeping still. Dim Sum says, maybe I'll put up a posty note with that. Just execute, Pansy. You should. Hey Timmy, if you're here. Yeah, Murin. But the nature of this one is different, by the way. It's just different. It's more aggressive, and if you don't read order flow, you won't notice it. So it's more aggressive. So right now, these rejections have been here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here. Until it goes down into this area and makes a lower low, it's nothing too different. But up here, they hit it hard. So you could have noticed here that they hit it hard, and using order flow and the change of tape, you could have taken a scalp with the stop above the highs and got out at 1R. Right? Like this. Wait a second. Hold on. Alright. Right up here. Right. Stop here. We noticed it about here. And then 1R is here. Right? You see that? See if we can see it a little better like this. Right. So we noticed it here. Maybe you had really poor entry, no pullbacks or anything. So you got in here, stop up here. You could get the 1R trade out of this, but you got to just take profit, right? Markets are tough. If you're scalping, you need to be able to set up the 1R trade and just take it. So right now it's nothing different in terms of measured moves. We just noticed in real time, aggressive selling. But it failed the follow-through test of the measured move, right? Here to here, here to here. Like we said, here to here. This one was a little more here to here, right? So it's failing the follow-through move. Bouncing on the 20 SMA, which is what it's been doing this whole time. 20 SMA, 20 SMA, 20 SMA, 20 SMA. See that? So shorts, you better effing take profit quick, and you better be decisive. Otherwise, so far you've been getting run over in the trend. So if you're long from here on the 20, you're getting paid pretty quickly right now, and we've been grinding up. So maybe you're more comfortable because of the preceding price action. So I don't know. It is a level on the TPO though. Look, this is where I would like to get rid of all the ETH stuff, right? From here to here, right? All this garbage, and then maybe just stack these. But anyway, back to post-it notes. Timmy, hope you are okay with me telling people what you told me yesterday, which is he bought a bunch of Monopoly money and he put it on his desk, stacked it up. And when he takes a trade and he risks money and he wins or he loses, a lot of times he takes that fake money that looks like real money and he stacks it up for perspective according to what he won or lost. And, you know, uses it as an example of, hey, this is what I'm risking, this is what I'm making. Because, you know, numbers on a chart, it can all get a little esoteric, right? A little bit, we can disconnect a little bit. It becomes like play money in a way. Well, if you're trading your own account, I'll tell you what, that doesn't happen too often where you disconnect. Especially if you take out, like, okay, I take out money from my broker. If I have a good week, I'll take it out once a week. But typically I take it out once a month. So I know every month I have a big reminder of whether I'm paying myself or whatever, or how much I'm paying myself essentially at this point. It's either a lot or a little, not as much. So it's but that is a good physical representation, and whatever you got to do, whether it's a post-it note or something on your wall, right? I have this picture over my right shoulder that says, in order to become the 1%, you must do what the other 99% won't. And then to the left of me, above one of my monitors, I have a framed picture that says Wall Street Panic. Ugh. About to break my treadmill here, walking off the back, trying to look at my picture and read it because I'm, standing desk on a treadmill right now, walking. It says Wall Street Panic as stocks crash, billions lost, wave of selling engulfs the financial market. Why do I have that up as a trader? On my wall in a place that I can easily see it. I have that up, and by the way, my profile picture, that is a picture of me, my bald head and all, standing at my desk with the big picture of the New York Stock Exchange on the wall. It's like a 5-piece painting behind my trading desk. That's where I'm at right now. Am I wearing my TYP trading jacket? No, it's way too hot. I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt as I walk. But that's where I'm at right now. Anyway, that picture reminds me, manage risk. Anything can happen at any time. And that picture is dated. That says, that I just read out, that said billions lost, wave of panic, selling, engulfs. It's dated 1929, you guys. Billions. Now it would be trillions. Everybody in their own time always thinks, it ain't going to happen in my time. Politicians and world leaders are not that stupid to make really bad decisions and hurt us all because it's so obvious. Nope. It happens. It happens from time to time. And I'd argue our politicians, especially in the United States, are getting dumber. And the people that are in power are, some of these people are just figureheads. They don't even talk well. right? Don't even. I mean, I just can't believe. I'm not gonna talk politics. I'm not gonna talk politics, but golly, we can do better. Man. Anyway, selling off a bit here. Rainer, take it to the. So change. We're now below the 20 SMA. Ba 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 da 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 da. Fossils and dinosaur Kermit. I know. Fossils and dinosaurs. Oh, fossils and dinosaurs. Ba 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 ba. 11s. All above us in the market. MBO. 11, 11, 11, 11. Bing! And TYP gets out. See, I can read the short-term price action very well. So this is what I end up doing, guys. I'm like, so you guys wanted me to talk about some of my bad habits, right? How do I know it's going to reverse there? I don't, but I see momentum loss. I see the structure of the market, and I know it's the first touch of an area, so it's likely to reverse. I also notice what market makers are doing on the order book, which is they're providing liquidity higher at a certain size repeatedly. And that size is a cipher as to the short-term direction of the market. So, yeah, it's just the whole thing. Anyway. Interesting, Simsum. He says, Simsum says, I think Jesse Livermore recommended taking out cash from profits and physically holding it. Nice. Whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do. You got to make things real for you. Whatever that means. Definitely though. I used to when I first started trading, I used to take my profits. Look at those icebergs here. See that? 1035 right there at 50. That's Rainer. Hi Rainer. Thank you for covering 1035 contracts at 50 right there. You absorbed a lot of supply. That's funny. Rainer's like, no, you don't know. I really am that person. Okay, great. Maybe you are. I don't know. I used to take profits that I would make. So right when I first started trading, I wouldn't do this. But then I started pissing away gains, and like you get so far ahead, and then you start playing like a wild man or a wild trader. Like I got a pad, and you hear this from new traders all the time. I have a cushion to play with, so I'm just continuing to play throughout the day. I got a big cushion, so I'm gonna just I'm gonna sling them contracts, which is, ooh, you're on the path to bad habits by doing that. So I noticed myself doing that. And so what I started doing, number one, I started to buy a little something with that money. And it was it really different money than the money we had? No, I just when I go buy something, I think this $100 thing or $50 thing, I'm buying it with trading money. And then I just go take that money, and I could ACH it out of Interactive Brokers for free. So, and they used to allow it more than, I don't even know what they allow now. Once a month or whatever it is, once a week. I don't know what it is now. They used to allow it all the time for free ACHs, unlimited. And I just boom, go do the ACH and call it good. Big reversal. Man, I should have got out, or I should have. Rainer's like, the house money trap, Simsum. Yeah. Well, good trade, Rainer. Way to take a shot at it. Way to take a shot at it. It's easy if you're taking trades to say, oh well, he shorted and he should have covered down here with the ice or something like that, right? The rest was out of break even, right? But had the market just continued plowing down, we'd be all saying, Rainer's a genius. Damn it, Rainer's so good. Instead, some of you are thinking to yourself, oh, I hope not, but maybe some of you are thinking to yourself, yeah, if he starts a trading service, I don't want to follow him because he didn't know. Do you guys realize how rare it is to have somebody calling the markets in real time, no delay, and actually trade successfully? How many people do that? Most of what you see is all recorded after the fact. In fact, in my old Discord, which doesn't exist, very few traders would tell me about the trades they were taking ahead of time. It was always, I just got into this trade and price is now 2 points higher. Always. It was always that. I just got out of this trade and price is now 3 points above my entry, but it's after the fact. And there's reasons for that potentially. But some of them didn't claim to be scalpers only full time, right? Some of them claimed to be rotational traders. So you could have told me what the rotation is ahead of time. Nobody ever did it, hardly. Very few. And nobody consistently did it and proved their profitability. It is so rare, guys. It is so rare. So if you have somebody sharing their positions with you or predicting the market ahead of time or in real time saying, I am taking this position, and they're showing you a pathway of success, don't fault them for every loss. Get this idea that you've got probably from FinTwit and vendor websites that most professional traders win all the time. Get it out of your head. It's not reality. And if you're here for the first time hearing that, you just tuned in, you're like, what is this guy telling me that my favorite furu on Twitter doesn't win all the time? Let them post in real time. Let them get on a live stream and watch them trade for a whole month. There's a reason why I keep my 3.5, 4 hour live streams up unedited. It's because so you guys know I either make money or I don't. And this is how I did it. I'm not editing all the crap that where I sounded like an idiot in real time. Do I really sound like an idiot? Sometimes. But do I really sound like an idiot because I'm wrong? No, I don't think I'm an idiot because I'm wrong. I just saying, like, compared to what the expectation is for people who want to follow somebody or look up to somebody who trades, I'm an idiot because I don't have enough common sense to make it appear to everybody like I only win. I don't. But that's reality. And the fact is most people don't even want to share that reality. So remember, everybody that sells something to you has another stream of income. It's what they're selling you. They're a quote, full-time trader because you're paying them probably for their services. Not because they're a full-time trader on their own dime. And just recognize that there is that built-in fail-safe for them. And they're going to try and protect that image because that's what most of you want to hear. You want to hear and you want to see somebody who's killing the game repeatedly, effortlessly. Oh, you put your levels and those levels hit. Beware of the person that gives you 8 levels or 4 or 6 or 7 levels and then in hindsight comes back and goes, look it, the 4th or 5th level hit and it was at the 1 standard deviation for normal. Well, guess what? If it was the 7th level, they would have said, oh, you should be buying at the 7th level, and they'd ignore the fact that you got wrecked at level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You see how that bias, you see how that argument goes? You got to take into account every other level being wrong and that they're only right 8% of the time or 12% of the time. But that's not the way most people's minds work. They put a line on a chart, right? They put value area high, and then they find the one area, one time that the market bounced off value area high, ignore all the rest where it doesn't, and say, look, I'm a value area high guru. You should have listened. You should buy my thing. And that works for VWAP. That works for volume point of control. That works for nodes. That works for trend lines. That works for horizontal support and resistance. That even works for my beloved settlement. Right? Although settlement's pretty badass, you gotta admit. If you're just getting exposed to settlement and you've actually been putting it on your chart and watching the way the market trades off of it, I guarantee you're impressed with that. Come on. Settlement and opening VWAP 30 seconds. You know the NASDAQ trades the most volume of the whole day in the first minute, first 30 seconds. That's why I have it on a chart. That opening VWAP 30 seconds is mainly for the NASDAQ. Because the NASDAQ will rotate and bounce off that. And I will scalp the bejesus out of it at the open. Why I have it up. Most of the time you guys don't even see opening VWAP 30 seconds. Because we've already moved away from the open most of the time. So you don't see how well it works on stream. But if you have it up on your chart, you know. Anyway. End rant. Let's go read the chat. Shall I? Hey, Alex. Oh, man. Arthur Crane says, I live in Italy, an ungovernable country. Politics and politicians here are orders of magnitude worse than the US. I slurp up the best of Italy, and I hold my nose and close my eyes to the rest. That sucks, Arthur. Yeah, Simsum. that ice at 50 was a good signal with the volume taper stop run. Yeah, maybe. I mean, the fact that, so again, and this is nothing new from what we pointed out earlier, I just happened to be, I don't know, talking or ranting or something. Well, this was all happening. But, all right, you had the ice here, and then the fact that we came down and then easily broke above it tells you. And then we easily broke above this. Tells you that whoever bought here, they're no longer selling below. So it's the same thing as what we talked about, I don't know, back here, I think, or wherever it was, right, where you had this volume node, you had price on the next bar push up like this, flatline volume, very low volume, and then price pushes below the volume node short term here, right, in this bar, and there's no buying. There's no defense of this area short term. So you can take two things away. Short term, they're not defending this to the tick. And so you could probably take a scalp. Secondarily, you can take away the fact that maybe on the day we're rotating like this, right? And we're taking stops out sometimes with these pullbacks. And the volume nodes are located here, and they're going to keep buying. So you know two things. One, you can take a scalp, typically, because they're not defending it to the tick. And two, they're also taking stops for longs and flushing out weak longs. And that's how they're moving it today. Either way, you can decide one of two things. You take the quick... You take the quick, and I hope, yeah, okay, you guys can't see it. You take the quick scalp short, right, under that level, or you look at the 20 SMA and you buy that. Now, did that fail here? Yeah, I did. That's why I got short and I only covered down here. I only took a few points here. Because of that ice, because of the loss of momentum, because of this volume in here, right? You see how they kind of filled it in a little bit? Willingness to buy, right? And I know that into the last hour, if they're going to sell it, they're going to sell it usually the last 15 to 5 minutes of the day. They're going to distribute up here. So you're going to get all this movement, right? And then the last 10 minutes, they're going to sell into all of you guys that are still bullish, hoping for new highs. So it more than likely, because we've trended up for this long, trend day, this is at worst maybe a distribution. And for the longs, maybe you get more expansion. But certainly I'm not taking a whole lot more risk in this low volume chop. Very low volume, right? So this low volume is accumulating through here. We got a volume node now. So maybe they try and expand the range. Let's see. Where's the next place for stops here? Just trying to look at... Yeah, next place for stops would be right here. Right here. So 65s. Like, what? I want to do a short. The trend day. That broke out of a huge IB. Today. Man, market's giving us all kind of confounding things today. Yeah, that's trading. It's not always textbook. It is for somebody today. Somebody knew. And somebody will correct me at some point and say, it was textbook, Mike. You're just an idiot and you didn't see it like I did. Okay, great. Good for you. Explain it to us all then, brother or sister. And next time, when you're using your doohickey thingamajigger that you're selling, tell it to me ahead of time. Don't curve fit it to the market and then say, slap your hands and go, all in a day's work, I'm awesome. Nope. Tell it to me ahead of time, MFer. Otherwise, I'm going to blast you. I don't care if you blast me. Okay, good. I'll blast you. It's just how it is. I love to blast people that are hindsight traders. Anyway. So here we are into that 62. It's what we talked about before. That 62 area here is that old bid volume that hasn't been touched, that we rapidly sold through. Interesting. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. VIX is divergent, going up with market. Oh, that's interesting, Sim. I don't have a video on OVWAP, but it's the same idea, Kermit, as settlement. Exact same idea, right? Settlement last 30 seconds, opening VWAP first 30 seconds, opening VWAP first 30 seconds. Lots of volume. So, just change your time on your chart to the opening 30 seconds. Do a reference chart just like the settlement video. I hardly think that needs a separate video. Oh, thank you, Joseph. Joseph saying exactly what I just said. Yeah, that's it, buddy. Thank you. Now, somebody reading this text, especially if they don't read, they don't know English or something, they can convert it. Just copy and paste it later. That's why I think sometimes chatting is useful, because people from different countries get to use Google Translate. I'm just looking at the chart here. Yeah, Kermit, it's really not rocket science. Really not. It's not worth my time to make, and it's not worth your time to even watch a separate video when the settlement video is exactly the same. Just change the the session time on your reference chart to the opening 30 seconds. Easy as pie. All right, well, I might be wrong, guys. It's fine. I'm risking one to try and catch the whole reversal of the day. Short 59, says Rayner. Are you talking about my position, Rayner? That's exactly where I'm short, 59. Rayner calling out my positions. Usu Usunamo. I'm glad you're here, my friend. Add it to your charts. Brian Davila. I am doing well, and it's nice to see you, my friend. I thank you very much for your appreciation. So it means a lot. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, somehow I burnt my finger. I don't know how, but I did. Whatever. My own position, says Rayner. Rayner's like, you fool. You fool. Why would I talk about your puny position? Right? I appreciate it, Rayner. Rayner, when are you going to do a YouTube live stream on your own positions? Come on, man. I promise you, I will, I will, I will watch and even talk about it to get more people to watch you if you do it. It's a hell of a drug to trade your account in front of other people without any delay. It's a hell of a drug, let me tell you. Oh man. The next level to this is using SST, Simple Systems Trading, right? Frederick. He has some really good stuff, by the way. I think it's Simple Systems Trading, SST Frederick. Anyway, I hope I didn't butcher that. He has a thing that will plug your real positions with maybe I think he says about a 1 second delay into your Discord. So for all you furus out there that are charging for your super fancy thingamajigger and claim to know how to use it yourself, why don't you charge people an extra? Oh, since your software is so good at finding stuff in the market and you're all experts at using it, otherwise, why would you have consults? Why don't you plug that in and charge people $400 or $500 a month with a guaranteed 2 or 3 positions a day? Not on your sim account. Nope. Maybe even your sim is fine. I don't know. Maybe you guys wouldn't. I don't know how it works, but anyway, why don't you do that? Offer everybody some $400 or $500 a month thing because you're such a badass trader with your awesome software, and show everybody how you trade using all the logic that you're applying to your super indicator. This looks healthy for upside. Come on. Here, let's get rid of this risk reward tool. Come take my stop. You've earned it. You're still buying? Come take my stop. My 5-point stop here. You've earned it, folks. Inverted head and shoulders. Go bust it all the way out to 70. Let's go. Shit. Ish. Why not? There's liquidity. Head right to it. All right. So now they're through that. So for all you guys that are using the imbalances, right? Big imbalances. This little teeny red line is a big imbalance left over. Does it work? Can you short the imbalance that's left over? And does it just go straight down? Oh, look at it go straight down. They're like, my software that focuses on big imbalances trumps your puny brain. That's why I took the short, is because of this imbalance. Because they sold it really hard off this level before, and I'm counting on trapped sellers up here. But, there's some people out there that they charge you for this stuff that is in Sierra chart standard. It's pretty sad. It's just sad. Anyway, there's the 1R trade, right? Can we lock it in? If we come all the way back up, is that it? Yeah, we'll lock some in here. I don't want to see this thing reverse all the way back up. Yeah, it's still in. So if I lock in 2 points and my stop was 5 points, it's not a great risk reward trade here. But where am I at in terms of profit? Let's see. Look at him. Look at him just eat it up right here. Look at him eat it up. At some point, this thing activates, and I think it activates at +8. So +8 would be 59. I think it activates down at 51. Let's see. That's the trail stop action. I think it activates down here at 51. And then I don't have to. So this is designed when it goes +8, then it locks in almost a 1 hour trade at +5 here. That's how it's designed. I just manually, like an idiot, moved it down. Because, I'm smarter than my stop. Oh, they're defending. They're defending. That's what's happening. They are defending it. They're also buying it. So, yeah, it goes both ways. Someone's buying, someone's selling. Maybe someone's covering, someone's defending, someone's selling. I mean, okay. So, here's what's going on here in my mind. Oh, this is great. You have this whole balance area, right? We tried to break up out of it, right? And right now all the longs from here are puking. They're like puking, 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 puking. But they're not moving the needle yet. They really, I think they start to puke down here. And then they just say, blah, everyone pukes at once. That's what I think is going to happen. But for the moment, anybody who shorted in here, they're covering against right now all these weak longs. So you just got to give it time. They're either going to puke it down, one side's going to win, or it's going to rip right back up. We don't know, right? Because this is a market made of buyers and sellers. We just don't know. So you give it a shot. But it's good for us that short term. It's holding down here. Let's see. Little retracement. Now, remember what we were talking about before? If they, you see how they're, oh, there you go. It's going to get stopped. Probably. You see how it's coming to the node and it's popping upside? So they're defending the node instead of, so far, the price action is it came down into the node, whoosh, bounced up. If shorts were completely in control here, it would come down, whoosh, come down. Then you'd know all the players here are more in control. That's what I think. Brian Davila. It's either going up or it's going down. You heard it here first. That's right, Brian. It's going up or it's going down. No matter what, I'm right. Because it's going to oscillate in the next 5 minutes. So anyway, that price action right there would have me a little scared because it keeps going, right? So they're defending it. So if you're short, you would want that to fail. This node, if it fails, and maybe if on this bar, the shorts add in here, and then we get another node, and then it fails this one, maybe then you can get confirmation and get short. But right now, it's not good for longs. It's not good for shorts, sorry. In the spirit of saying confusing things, it's not good for longs or shorts. Oh man, this is confounding price action. If it goes up, well, my smash level, did I just say that? Yes, I did. My smash level is 41.59. Long above, short below. Why? Because there's a volume ledge there. Okay, well, I'm right either way. God, I hate that shit. Anyway. Oh, boy. TFT, what's cracking? All is well. Yeah, I'm having a good time. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Frederick's stuff. He's a good coder. I think he has good quality stuff. It's good stuff. Let's smash that like button. Oh yeah. Anyway, I'm not trying to be super uber negative, but certain things are just so obvious, guys. Come on. You can do better. You can do better. Meaning, don't follow somebody who constantly has plausible deniability. They can deny everything. Well, no, that I wasn't right here, but I was right about this one. Like, really? Really? You got 15 levels on your chart. Yeah, one of them's going to be reactive. The other 14 weren't. So I wasn't wrong about those because I had the 15th one on there. Ay, ay, ay. But I had a story and it sounded so good. Yeah, but your story talked about everything that already happened in the market. Not predictive whatsoever. But I got a level above or below. Yeah, well, your level was violated twice. You know, people got wrecked on the way up. But in hindsight, if you would have taken the short below my level, it's 70 points at the exact bottom where the upside is only 12 points. Oh, so is that our trading technique now? Every time it violates a level, you get in? Well, no, I don't define my rules. That's up to you. That's up to your discretion how you want to take the trade. Oh, but you take credit for when it goes 70 points or 50 points lower than your level. Got it. How do traders know to get in? You gotta read your own discretionary footprints for that. But here, pay me for my service. Huh? Anyway, that's why I am trying to teach people how to fish, not tell you exactly this is how you should fish. All right? I'll share logic and rationale. I'll answer any freaking question you guys have. But I'm not going to tell you where to get in and get out. That's why people on Twitter, they're like fishing for, where do I get long, Mike? Where do I get short? What do you think about this level? Right as they're hurting in a trade. I don't want to do that. Now, you want to ask, hey, I noticed this XYZ setup, and what do you think about what makes this a good setup or not? Here's my thoughts. Okay, great. Now we're thinking together. We'll both learn. Maybe you teach me how to catch, the sturgeon you're eating, the caviar that you're eating. Great. Teach me your ways, oh wise one. Totally cool with that. But don't furu it up on me. Don't try to sell your thingamajigger with little winky faces and A-OK signs like, oh baby, as usual, it always works. In hindsight. Don't do that to me, because I'm going to call you on it. I may not call you on it the first time, but the second, the third time, I'm going to call you on it, and if you get offended, well, we part ways. Anyway. Media Brewer says, I saw a girl on YouTube drawing 30 different levels that were so close, I just closed that out quick. You know what? There's some really, really popular, and I don't follow them anywhere. It's about a year and a half ago that I actually followed them. Levels. And the levels, I swear, in a volatile market that was moving 60 points a day, and these people are charging a lot of money. The guy drives a Ferrari. No joke, lives in Southern California. He's got a bunch of subscribers. I mean a bunch. I know this. He's been around for a long time. I've even talked to him a few times. Not about his service, just about how he breaks down the market. And his levels were like 5 points apart. Little zones of like 2 to 3 points. And then he would say like, the first level is the lowest probability reversal. The second level is the next medium probability. And the third level was the highest probability reversal. So I was like, okay, well, how would you place your stop on the first level? Well, just outside the zone. Okay, I'm like, all right, well, where would your profit taker be? Well, it's up to you. If you want to have a higher risk reward trade, then you need to place your target profit target further away. I'm like, well, that's a lower probability of success, right? That's true. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Okay. All right. So you do this every single day for your levels, right? What percentage of the time does the first level not yield a 1 hour trade? Well, maybe, I don't know. I haven't really quantified it that way, but they're really reactive. Okay. So you don't really know if your system has edge. You've already told me that. All right, let's talk about your second level. Now, I'm not talking to him like this, but that's what's going on in my head. You don't actually know if your system has edge. You've already told me that. Second level, a little higher. All right, where do you put your stop? Well, this one, this is how he would do it. This one, you could put your stop above the third level and just add at the third level. Oh, wow. So in other words, your second level, where would your take profit be? Well, maybe into the first level. So if the stop is above your third level, then it's less than 1 R. Yeah, but it's a much higher probability of winning. Oh, like how much? Well, it's got to be, it's like above 50%. 51%? So is it 51% at less than 1 R? Well, I mean, markets are complicated. You can't just stick a bow on everything and explain it like that. He's true in saying that. You can't. But you're also charging for something that you say repeats every day. Right? So this is how you investigate these kind of things. Rainer, I know. I know you're not. But I'm interested in watching you trade because it's an amazing thing to watch somebody trade live, and not very many people do it. It's quite entertaining. So I'd probably watch trades by Matt every single day if I wasn't trading in the morning. He runs a nice tight ship over there. Nice gig. I like his whole setup. It's cool. But anyway, I'm sure there are lots of traders out there. I don't know. Maybe put some in the chat, guys. If you guys know of anybody that trades live, um, you know, offers a little bit of alpha, I'll go watch them. Because it's tiring for me to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. It gets really old quick. Especially if you guys aren't asking questions. Oh, Yusunamo. I'm learning Sierra says, I'm learning Sierra. Learning curve is tough, but it's going to be worth it. Do you think MBO is worth? Is that what you're referring to when you say there's liquidity at a price? Yeah, I think MBO is worth it, but if you're trying to learn a whole bunch of things, then it's probably not. That's a hard question for me to answer because are you really good at multitasking? Right. If you're new to Sierra chart, it can be a little overwhelming. So if you're just trying to learn it, I would suggest maybe you don't do MBO. You just learn it. You learn how to look at the software, how to read it, how to navigate it well, how to execute. And maybe you consider it, because otherwise you're just paying for something that you may not even notice very much anyway, especially when you're first learning the software. It can be a little overwhelming. Hey, and if you are going to use Sierra Chart, in the description of this video, we'll plug it. There's a link, a referral link. If you guys would sign up to Sierra Chart using that referral link, it helps me. It doesn't pay me. Just It just pays for some of my Sierra chart usage, a very tiny percentage, uh, when you guys sign up. And it lets them know that, hey, this TYP guy is actually bringing them new uh, clients. And so by extension, if they start to pay attention a little bit and you have product suggestions or improvements, there is a possibility that I may go to them and go, hey, there's a pretty big user base of people that have subscribed to your service because they've watched some of my YouTube videos and they're requesting this feature. And maybe, just maybe, if I present it the right way, Sierra Chart will say, yeah, maybe that's worth it for us to do that. So you get a little bit more, indirectly, you get a little bit more of a voice too through requesting stuff of me, if you sign up using my referral link. So that's the reality of the situation, is that I would definitely do that. But it just helps me a little bit in paying a little bit for the software, but doesn't pay data fees, doesn't pay exchange fees. It just pays the usage fee. I pay 6 months at a time for Sierra Chart because you get a little discount. And I'm on package whatever 12. So I just pay for it 6 months. It'll just extend that usage time by a little bit, if you use my referral fee, and that's it. It's not more or less if you use my referral fee link. So it's in the description. No problem, Yusunamo. Yeah, there's so much to look at. Look at us grind up. Man, this market is strong. Anyway, good thing we got out of our short, huh? In hindsight. So, was that predictive? Did I hedge myself when I said this here, the price action, when it came back, is it just bounced quickly, bounced up, and then when it bounced down again, it dink, 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 right? Back up. Was that predictive? Nod your head. Yes, it was. Did I hedge myself and say anything could happen? Yeah, anything can happen. But that's a definite opinion about short-term price action using a footprint, using a volume node, and the way price behaves above or below a volume node. Kind of cool, guys. It's kind of cool that we get a look, peer into the candle, and get a read on this stuff. I think it's really, 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 we're very, very lucky that we have all this awesome software. What time is it? 12:46. It's about to get crazy in the market. All right. Let's see. You guys love trading? I love trading. I hope you guys love trading too. Trading is awesome. All right. RTH is here. We're going to put this as a level. Hey, look. Shows up now. Bing. So what is it? It's the level, it's the high from 531. So let's right click it. Go to modify text. See, it's a Sierra chart tutorial at the same time. Right click it. Modify text. Say 531 RTH high. Now watch. We hit OK. Bing. It's here too. Because this chart overlays to all the low time frame charts. Isn't that cool? Right? Organize your Sierra chart a little bit to make your life easier so that all the TA you perform on your high time frame charts gets extrapolated to this low time frame chart. Right? Gets shared, essentially. Anyway, we can get rid of this. Let's erase the drawing. Bink! It's gone. It's now no longer on the low time frame. The murder algo is getting ready. Yeah, Brian Davila. Murder algo. Murder algo. So Media Brewer asks an interesting question. He says, what profit factor should I aim for? Only at about 1.2 right now, and it feels like a little too thin of an edge to get more aggressive. Depends. You got to ask yourself, Mr. Media Brewer, how much edge, what's your winning percentage with the 1.2R profit factor? Meaning your stop, your aim, right? Your goal is like your stop is 120% further from your entry than your stop. So your profit taker is 120% further than your stop is from your entry, right? In other words, it's like this, right? Or let's just visualize it. All right, here's your entry, or here's your stop, here's your entry, and there's your take profit. So you're saying your entry's here, your take profit's up here. This is a long position, green dots. They're buying. There's a ledge here. It's going to explode up right now. Likely. We'll see. It's what happens, guys. There it goes. Now, was that predictive? Nod your head. Yes. It was predictive. So pay attention. Pay attention to what I'm telling you guys. I'm not charging you anything, and I'm predicting it. Just based off of this little footprint node. See that? Again. Right off the node. Anyway. So what media is asking about is this 1.2R, right? So let me tell you, when you set up a trade that's like this, the probability of success on this trade is probably 20 or 30% if you have edge. Something like that. Usunamo. Market experience and watching, if you play chess, right? There's always, when the board sets up a certain way, even if you don't know all the moves, you know that something is, like maybe someone has, I don't know, rook has been activated, they've got center of board, all the pieces are linked well, and there's no direct move that crushes the opponent in one or two moves, but you know their position is right. Well, you're just seeing in real time me notice the position is right. That's it. That's all it is. And so it's experience, right? As a new chess player, you're not always going to notice that the board is set up a certain way. But you can use some principles, right? Like this. The profile looks like that on a footprint, right? Big old node right here. It hasn't extended up yet. Well, that's what this was. Pushing up. Where's the stops? Above this prior high. Why do you think I have it up there? They went and found all the stops. Hey, they spent some money. If you're a bull, would you want to spend some money to try and see what's up there? Sure, it's worth it. If you're some trader worth a few $100 million, you're going to take defined risk bets, and you're going to see if there's interest to go push higher. It's just how the markets operate. They seek out the greatest liquidity naturally. Anyway, so back to Media Brewer. Media Brewer is talking about what risk reward should I have? Depends what your setup is, my friend. If you're gonna, let's say this move here represents 3 hours of this whole move here from here to here represents 3 hours of time, and you're counting on a continuation trend day. You might be able to get, if this stop loss is say 15 points, you might be able to get this 4-hour trade to work. If you're a really good operator, you're really good at big picture stuff, and you think you're going to catch a move to the upside, and you might even be able to tighten this up and get like 8R out of it. Is that your style? Well, I don't know. Is your style scalping? Is your scalping style rotation to rotation? Right? Maybe you have a higher probability and can take more trades at 1R, 1.2R. In other words, I cannot answer that question for you. Because you need to know your own style, Mr. Media Brewer. Anyway, that's what I wanted to hear. Well, it's the truth. It is the truth. The truth. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see. A lot of volume pushed up here over 4170. They found the liquidity, ladies and gentlemen. For me, no reason to short, no reason to go long. That's just me. But some will gamble without any rationale. It's gone up high. Let me take a shot at the short side. Okay, go for it. Up here, these are lower singles. I wouldn't pay attention to that, to be honest. It extends all the way from way through here. In fact, that needs to come off the chart. So don't pay attention. Pay that no mind. Now, pour high, pour low. Now we're getting there. Now we're getting there. A little bit of stops. "30-minute gap fill coming at here. Ba-da-da. Gap fill right here at 78s. I'm just paying attention to charts right now. Right here is the gap. That's it. This is gap fill right here. So you want to short it because of gap fill? Maybe. Hey again, Marcin. Ah ha ha, you're a funny guy. Maybe. We were all there on Sierra chart at one point. But that's the fun thing about Sierra chart. There's some master out there that's putting me to shame and laughing at my charts going, this guy sucks. He doesn't know anything. It's true. All right. How much time is left? 2.5 minutes. More explosion to the upside here. It's coming. 80s. All that liquidity is lined up to 80, guys. It's all just lined up here. Let's see. They're bidding it up here with the 500 lot at 74. 500 lot still there. They're still pushing. There are still buyers in the house. And you know, if you're a big trader, if you're a hedge fund, you're seeing this strength today going, get me some of that. Get me some of that. I want this. Get me some of that. Y'all are so focused on one little equity index that you're not thinking about all the hedge funds going, get me some of that. I want this. Get me long. Slurp. Straight up into 80. And all the futures traders are like, yep, I know you want some of that. All right. Settlement coming. Starting to be calculated in 10 seconds. 12:59:22. Right down here. Here it comes. Da-da-dun-dun-dun. Here comes the line. Bing. You see it? Orange. Settlement. Let's get it. There's the settlement line right there, right above us. Right there. Settlement line extending. 75s. Here they come to sell them again. 9.5 trade. 7, 8. Here we go. 6 seconds left. To the downside. To the upside. To the downside. To the upside. Ding, 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 ding. Back to settlement trade. Come on. Come on. Come on. Boom! Back to settlement. We got the settlement scalp. Did you see it? Was it too fast? I don't know. Maybe it was too fast. I wasn't paying attention. That was exciting. Oh, trading is fun. All right. 2 more points on the MESs. You're like, really? You just took? Yeah, I just took 2 points. And I'm so excited about the 2 points. Why? Because the settlement mean reversion trade is a thing in a trend up market. Right? Bottom of the range that was defined during settlement. Buy the pullback after settlement. Back up. Test top of the range. This is another one. Yeah, Brian, I just love trading, man. If I was quicker, I would, I don't know, rap or something while I did all that, but I got a little excited there. The close is cool, man. Just put the popcorn in your mouth and, oh, baby, look at that. They're going to go back and test settlement now or what? Maybe. Alex, thanks for sticking around, dude. $10 is $10. That's right. That is right. $10 is $10. All right. So for the day, we're at 93. This is 93 points. So I don't know. 93 times 5 points is, all right, 100 times 5, 500. The difference is 7. So 7 times 5, 35. All right, so 500 minus 35. 465. All right, plus 465 on stream. Hey, there's the settlement mean reversion trade. Right back up. Did I call it? Yes or no? Did I call it? Settlement mean reversion trade. I just said it. It's probably going to bounce back up to settlement. Did we? I'm glad it makes sense to you, Brian. Hallelujah. Anyway, it was predictive. Yes, I called it. You guys now have seen a few days in a row where settlement gets defined near the close, and there's these trades that set up the mean reversion settlement trade. This is what? false breakout that reversed, consolidated through here. We came back into the consolidation, into the point where they were wrong halfway, and what? Trap traders, short saying, get me the F out. So if you guys are wondering what goes into the process of me saying probably going to reverse, that's what goes into the process. Okay? Right there. But you have to understand, a top, a consolidation, false breakout, back, bottom of the range, back through, top of the range, now becomes what? This is before the close, into the close, trap traders, big consolidation, moving sideways here. You see it, market slows down, makes one stop out and reverse back to settlement. See that? You see how it works? I've been telling you guys for a while that there's these post-settlement trades, mean reversion trades that you could take almost every day. Almost, and you're like, what is this? What is this MFer talking about? Huh? Even people in the Discord were like, I just don't see it, man. I'm like, every day. Maybe I'll start talking about them more. And I talk about them more, and they're like, there's too many variations. I'm like, you got to understand trap traders, though. You just got to understand trap traders and be able to figure out the context pretty quick in real time. And then you'll get it. Anyway, the mean reversion settlement trade. Maca. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I don't care about it. I'm just, you know why I point that out, that I called it, is because I'm just saying it's predictive. That's it. If you got something that's predictive, great. If you don't have anything that's predictive, you're just like everybody else calling hindsight stuff. If you made money today and all you do is call hindsight stuff on your Twitter and everywhere else, all the Discords you're a part of, whatever. Pat yourself on the back. You still made money today. But don't sell anything and don't take credit for not calling anything ahead of time. Because you know what? Real traders call the market ahead of time and deal with the consequences. You're either right or you're wrong. Suck it up and take the criticism if you're wrong. If you're the kind of trader that can't handle being wrong because you're worried about subscribers or you're worried about your business that you're selling trading-ish, right? To people, ish means S-H-I-T. If you're worried about selling your trading-ish and having a perfect, I don't know, impression from people, then you're not in reality. Quit doing that. Don't be that kind of person, right? Don't be a liar. Don't misrepresent what you're doing, right? Call it in real time. Well, I'll give you props. You can't call it in real time or everything's 2 minutes after the fact. Pfft, you ain't going to get any props from me. I'm just going to, we're all of us real traders, and we're going to laugh about you. I'm going to point and laugh. And you're probably pointing, you're laughing all the way to the bank, charging $500 a month for your service. Times 50 people, and that's enough. Good for you. People are willing to pay, but I'm trying to educate anybody that will listen that you guys need to stop trusting all of these people with your hard-earned dineros. Don't trust me. Don't trust me. Just, if I do well, say, oh, he did well. Maybe there's something to it. If I trade like ish, right? Well, then call it. Man, you traded like ish. I don't want to listen to what that guy has to say. Fine, and then move on. I don't care. And I'll deal with it too. I'll be like, I traded like ish. I need to change. Tell me about your great indicator, oh wise one, because I need to learn something else. But I ain't asking anybody. Everyone wants to share their latest and greatest indicator with me. Everybody does. I ain't looking. And everybody that's emailed me and talked to me about their latest handy dandy indicator knows that I don't entertain it. None of it. None of it. I got access to all kinds of stuff, guys. I don't use anything but my own simple footprint charts that I created out of standard Sierra chart studies. There's nothing custom about any chart you see here. Everything here is a standard Sierra chart study. Now, I may have used combinations of studies to make it look pretty or to make a heads-up display, but nothing here is custom. It's not ASCIL or whatever it is. I don't know how to code. I can't code. I mean, I could probably learn, but I don't code. I leave that to the masters. All right? I'd rather just... So anyway, my point is, I'm not using anything. I'm not buying anything. I'm not spending a bunch of money getting an indicator. I'm using everything out of box and just putting studies that make sense. And then I read the definitions of the studies. I understand them. I read through. Oh, that study makes a lot of sense. How does this apply to the market? Think about it. How could that help me spot that type of trader trapped at this position? Ooh, cool. 200 volume instead of 1,000 volume? Why would that help me on a day like today? Think about that. Why is my heat map chart 200 volume today as opposed to 1,000? And the heat map chart, it's this one here, right here. And the heat map chart has heat map on it all day today with bubbles all day. Why did I change it like that? You guys can do this yourself. Come up with your own little system that works for you based on how you see market participants either buying or selling, and you want to go with one side or the other. And you think if you can repeat that and you have edge, construct something in here that if you're like, I don't know the software well enough, well then reach out and help some other people when they have questions. And then when they have questions and you're helping them, they'll see, well, this person, they also help me. So they're giving to me without taking anything. And then maybe when you have a question, they're willing to help you and they go, hey buddy, I'll help you. I see you don't know. Right? You know, Alfred Zumbrig or something, he sent me an email because he noticed that I wasn't making good use of my shortcut for time frames, which is, right, you select a chart and then you just type in 15 and then enter, or 15M, okay? Boom. I did it. Now I'm loading that. All right. Maybe I want not a 15-minute chart. I want to look at the rotations here. Okay. What are the rotations? 76 down to 74. Okay. What is that in ticks? 76, 74, 8 ticks. All right. So a point figure 1-8. All right. Let's do it. Click on the chart. It turns blue. 1-8 PF. Enter. Oh, hey, look. Point and figure 1-8. Hey, now we see all these rotations. Look, we see rotations around settlement. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Thank you, Alfred. I appreciate that very much. I wasn't thinking about it enough. Alfred helped me. Why did Alfred help me? Because I come out here and I just talk about stuff that helps him. So he paid it forward. And he took the time to shoot me an email and said, hey, Mike, maybe you can use this a little better. It's like, son of a gun. I already know about all this. And I probably should have in my email told him, Alfred, I don't use it enough. Instead, I said something like, thank you or whatever, but I do use it. I do use it. I just don't use it enough. Anyway, I really freaking appreciate that. So pay it forward to the people that are around you. If you're like TYP, I don't know enough people. I have no central place to share my Sierra chart knowledge. Go make a Discord and share that. If you know of a Discord that is run by somebody that's organizing it well, go join. Feel free. Yes. Thank you, Alfred. Says Andre. Feel free to share Discords where you know, have people that are all sharing Sierra chart knowledge. I'm not going to spend the time to do it anymore. It's too much time. You guys want me on YouTube? Then I need to not run a Discord. You want me on Twitter? I need to not run a Discord. Discord was a thankless job, which I paid, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks a month for stuff every month so that people could share screens and stuff. Nobody paid me for that. I just did it for everybody else, right? Not very many people like Andre who are like, I appreciate you, Mike. Boom. Anyway, it's a whole thing. You got to give and take. You got to be willing to give people to get something back. And if you don't do that, well, your own growth is going to suffer a little bit, and you just make the world a less cool place. It's the truth. You make the world a less cool place by not giving and taking and sharing with people, yada yada yada. Anyway, Dirk had a question, and I want to get to it. Mike, what time? Dirk is my buddy. Yeah, Usanama, you can still do crazy good things with standard Sierra studies. Simsum. Let's answer Dirk's first. Mike, what time do you use for T plus 1 and 2, 1555 to 1559.59? My values are a bit off. So Dirk, no problem, my friend. CME settlement calculations for equities. Now I Google that. It takes me to understanding equity index daily and final settlement. All right. If you go to this daily settlement for most equity index futures, daily settlement price for the front month is calculated using a volume weighted average price or VWAP based on the last 30 seconds of the trading day. Last 30 seconds, Dirk. That's your answer, my friend. So 15, 59, 30, 15, 59, 59 at Dirk Pepper. Booyah. That's official CME settlement based on VWAP. So the VWAP study needs to have a chart setting that is 15:59:30 to 50:59:59 your time, right? Dirk is in Switzerland, I believe. So Simsom asks, Mike, what setting do you use for open position average price? I use this one. I go to chart settings. Bump, 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 bump. It's off the screen. I'm exhausted. I use theoretical position average price when I'm in the mood. When I'm in the mood to scalp around a position and try and hold it for a longer period of time. And why do I do that? Because this will add profit, and then reduce my average position size or move my average position size higher. And then I feel more comfortable letting it run. Today, I didn't think we were going to, I kept thinking we're going to get a reversal, which is why I tried the short a few times. We never got it. It didn't act like it was reversing, where it took out volume nodes that were formed. And so I kept getting stopped out for small profits. But I turned this on today because I wanted to potentially turn an MES into a big 50 or 60% retracement of the whole move today kind of position. So this is on. Otherwise, on my DOM, I always use something else. And that something else on my DOM is for open position average price. I always use first in, first out fill matching for open position average price. So first in, first out. In other words, I get short here, and then I get short here, and then I cover here, and I cover here, right? It's going to recognize a loss on the line that goes from here. This is the first entry. This is the first out. It's going to recognize a loss there. And then it's going to, and remember, this is the second fill. And then this would be the last fill. So it's going first in, first out, right? It would recognize a win on this one. So a little loss it would recognize in the P&L, average price. Then it would recognize a loss, or a win. So it would recognize a little loss, and then obviously a bigger winner up here, right? And so it would, in the end, as long as your short position is higher than your average long position, you make money. But what we're talking about here is just the open position indicator and what that displays. So that's how it is. It's what it be. All right, let's see if we can see some of my positions. If some of my positions demonstrate that today on this chart. Let's see. Let me do this. Erase this, 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 this. Okay, here we go. What am I doing? All right, up here. Hey, how come I'm not? Oh, that's why. I don't even know what's going on here. Here, 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 here. Hold on. I started clicking around on everything, and I'm just on the wrong screens. All right, so if I had two positions, so this was a win as denoted by the blue line, where I took this little mean reversion scalp. Should have taken this one that I called, but I didn't. Okay, let's see if we can see a position that has more than one contract for the MES to see how we took it. Oh gosh, these rotations are terrible. Look at that. All right. Well, none of these are. These are short positions here. Stupid. It looks so different now because it's point figure, right? It's not time based. This is all, these bars are all going to look different than you remember them. So just keep that in mind. So short from here, covered here, long from here, covered here. In real time, looking for the fill in, Timmy trades, of the low volume, right? Just a little scalp. I don't know, 3 or 4 contracts. They were all winners, so we don't see any losers here. Bummer. This one too. We held this one for a while, didn't we? We almost stopped out up here. I think we were 3 ticks off. Didn't take the profit. All the way down here. Saw the volume node and said, uh-oh, if it reverses, it's probably going upside. Okay, yeah, we were right. Stopped out here. Let's see. Someone's going to suggest, Mike, why don't you review all your trades like this every day for our sake? Ha ha. Ha ha. No problem, guys. No problem, Dirk. How much are you guys going to pay me to show you all my trades and review all of them? I ain't doing this for fun, guys. Come on. I already do this myself. I do journal. I journal. I have a lot of work ahead of me to journal. All right, here we go. Let's see. Do we have any losers? Damn it. Is there any loser? Yeah, there's losers. Here we go. All right. So this here, in terms of fill, what was profitable, as we shorted up in here and we built this position to the short side, because this one was the, what? I think this was the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth fill, and then this one was a loser, right? So it's first in, first out. Of this position, there was 2 losers out of the, I don't know, 14, 15, 20 MES that we traded, or I traded up here. But the rest were all winners barely. So anyway, that demonstrates the FIFO a little bit. Now, in terms of what displayed as the average price, as we start to lock these in, our average price was somewhere up here. And then when we realized, damn it, this is not going to work out, we just got out of the whole thing. Right? Notice this over here, and the market's slowing down and absorbing in real time here. So, 'tis the reason for that. Anyway, back, clicking on the chart, hitting 5M, 5 minute. And they all load. Boom. Thank you, Alfred. All right, about to check the chat again. Hey, look at it push up. Mean reversion trade, back to settlement. Oh, that's cool. For Discipline says for Ninja, requested a feature. All right, Simzum, appreciate it, buddy. Ba-ba-da-da-ba-da-da. I think we're done. Are we done, guys? I think we're done. Anyway, if you haven't liked the video, please like it. Helps the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for joining me today. Thank you very much, Brian Davila and Andre. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you appreciating me with little supers here. You guys are classy, upstanding guys, and it is just appreciated. So anyway, I do appreciate it very much. You guys, whenever you have questions, feel free, Brian and Andre, to shoot me an email. I am happy, more than happy to answer questions, especially to people like you guys that really kind of show that appreciation in that way. So it is just very much appreciated. Thanks, Dirk. And everybody cheer for Dirk. Dirk has had some, health stuff. He's getting over it. And well, we wish you the best, Dirk. I'm always thinking about you, my friend. Um, so I hope you do do well. Anyway, have a really, really, really good evening. I hope you guys enjoy all your mad profits that you made from this easy to trade market. That's like, man, we're just pimping this market out nonstop, aren't we? Anyway, peace. Have a good one.